have you with us again for another Growing in Grace podcast. We love our audience. We love our guests who come to be with us to speak on the various topics that we're having. And in this season, we've been dealing with mental health. We are awareness, issues, things that center around mental health and mental wellness. And we're glad that you're with us today. Mental health is a something that has been under spoken of, and we've under uh, realized the value of mental health, and we've considered physical health, and we've done all these other things, but not have we haven't given the attention to mental health as we should, and was trying to correct that and make that right.
Amen.
And so we would like for you to share this podcast with others and help others to know that we're about to get into a serious topic with our special guest. She's come back to be with us again, Cassandra Green. And the topic of the day is ingredients for mental wellness. Ingredients for mental wellness. And the reason for this topic is there are certain things that go into a well-made cake, and without those ingredients, you're not gonna even have a cake.
Exactly.
You got that. Certain things is foundational for a cake, and without those, you just don't. It could be something else, but it won't be a cake. And to have a cake that tastes good, you've got to have some type of sweetener in there. Um, and there's these different things that you put into that cake: flour, eggs, uh, um, extract,
Yeah. No extract or help.
vanilla, almond, different like lemon,
Yeah,
different
yeah,
type of extracts that you
yeah.
might put in there. There's different things, baking soda perhaps, and I want to say this, and then we're gonna have our conversation. Sometimes in a cake, there are ingredients that go into the cake that you would not take alone. If you took it alone, it wouldn't be something that you would desire or taste good. However, once you put it all in
Oh,
there and you make it up and you bake it, it's something that's desirable.
absolutely.
And for mental wellness, there are some ingredients that we need to put in to our lives and into our day to day that will allow us to have mental wellness.
Okay.
So, Cassandra
Yeah.
Green, you're ready, aren't
No,
you?
I'm just, when you, as you were talking, I'm thinking about from a spiritual aspect.
You know,
Go ahead. Okay. Okay.
before
Okay.
before we jump in,
Okay.
who are you? Who are you? And so this is Cassandra Green. You're a therapist. You've had some years in um, not only experience for yourself, but also working with others. So tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
Uh,
Cassandra Green. I am a certified peer specialist.
mhm,
So, and I've worked in mental health for probably about 20 something years.
mhm,
And I worked with PATH program, Bright program, which are mental health programs here in Georgia. I have been family advocates. I work with Family Advocates of Georgia. I've worked with them for several years, helping families deal with mental health issues within the family. So I have a ministry where we actually work with domestic violence, mental health, human trafficking, and sexual abuse, also cancer. So we do awareness. So what I'm doing right here is what I spend my life doing,
yes.
talking about the issues that are important to our community. And when it comes to mental health, that is something that is seriously a problem right now in the community, black community, white communities, all communities right
Yes.
now. So,
Yes.
and that's basically who I am and what I do.
Yes. Very good. Now
Okay.
you was about to make a point.
Oh, so I was saying spiritually, um, we use the scriptures. We use the scriptures very well. The joy of the Lord is our strength,
Mm,
right?
hmm.
That scripture is one of the most powerful scriptures, I think, in the Bible. Because what do you do when you don't have joy,
Hmm.
but you're trying to get through situations?
Hmm.
How can we get through anything on the strength of God if we don't have that joy. So, one of the main ingredients to me to mental wellness is joy. If we can come to the place where we really are in a place where we're trusting God, we don't care what is happening. And when you're dealing with mental health sometimes, it's hard to find that joy place.
Yes.
It is very hard to find that joy place. So, if we can find the joy, then we can find the strength to go through whatever it is. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, because here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. A lot of times people, they're trying to be happy,
Yeah.
but they're not trying
Happy
to
and
have joy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, we know the difference between the two. And the happy is about what's happening. And the joy is in spite of what's happening.
No matter what's going
It doesn't
on.
matter what's going on. In fact, part of joy is hope.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is joy is actually attached to hope, because joy is more about what is to come rather than what's already happening right now.
And faith.
Yes.
The faith needs to go, hope and faith go hand in hand a lot of times.
Right.
So it's really important for us to put these things together in order for people to operate in joy. And joy is a major part of mental health. You have to have the strength to know that you can make it through whatever is happening to you. Whether it's something chemical or whether it's something situational.
Yes.
So we got to remember that those are, that's a key point,
Yes.
that joy factor. So I always, and we've been there where you don't always feel like your joy is, you don't feel like running down the aisles of the church and leaping over chairs and everything. Sometimes you just don't feel like you don't even have the strength to do that because you're going through so much.
Yes.
But if you can find that place of joy where you just trust God, I don't care what you trying, devil. I'm going to worship and praise God in spite of. If you can get to that point, your mental will pop in. Because what is that? Endorphin? What is that? The endorphins that make you feel good.
Yeah.
Nothing brings that about like the joy of the Lord.
Yes.
Think about it. It just like when you are in that place of joy with God, I'm just want to deal from a spiritual standpoint right now. When you are in that place of joy with God, it does not. Man, I have gotten news, Pastor, about dying when they told me I was going to die, and I just started worshiping God, and it's like they didn't even say it to me. I'm like, excuse me, did you hear what he just said? But if you can let your spirit override the natural man, you can get to that place where I can make it through this. I don't care what they say. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes.
it's something, I think it's simple, joy.
Joy. I can say this even for my own mental health. It works. Whereas you can have some low points.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where the joy begins to come at those low points. It's not the point of euphoria where you have the joy. It's sometimes where you are going through something.
Yes.
And then you can actually begin to worship God, and then here comes the joy of the Lord.
Exactly.
Which strengthens you to be able to go
Go
through the next, even what you're going through at that time.
Exactly.
So
And then
that is
peace.
a key component.
Peace. Let me tell you something. I refuse to let anybody steal my peace, because when you have peace of mind in whatever is going on, same thing, that kicks in that joy, and you realize, oh man, you know what? Yeah, things are acting, things are cutting up right now. This person is acting a fool, but I'm not going to let them steal my peace.
Yes.
Because once someone can take your peace, or a situation can take your peace, where are you going? You're on a downward spiral.
Yeah.
You're on a downward spiral, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yes.
So, joy, peace,
Yes.
two key components in keeping your mental health.
Yes. So, peace, and to be able to have confusion going on around you in your life, but be able to be at a place of peace. And the scripture does speak about how the peace that passes
All
understanding,
understanding.
is able to guard your heart and your mind. And so we need peace in our mind. And if we're going to impact others with peace, we've got to have it within
Within
ourselves.
yourself,
And
exactly.
that peace can allow you to be in a place where you don't have a bunch of anxiety going on in your mind. You can be at peace with what is and what is to come.
Exactly.
And especially when you can acknowledge that God is the one that gives you the peace.
Exactly. What about chaos? When we have chaos constantly going, there's no peace, there's no joy. I mean, chaos, when you allow things to just control your environment instead of you being in control. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yes.
You can have controlled chaos. You can have controlled chaos. Even though there are things happening, you don't have to let that take away from who you are, who God is, and what I'm just saying.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've had some opposition, and I've had some people who have. I don't think they were really trying to make me angry necessarily, but somewhat of an abusive situation. Uh, but through peace in me, I was able to maintain my integrity and not let them disturb my peace and to take me different places. Whereas sometimes when we want to have mental wellness, you can't allow people to take you places. You got to stand your ground. And if you were at peace before they started speaking, you can be at peace when they get finished. Because whatever they say does not have to take you from where you started. You don't have to allow people to take you places.
Exactly. I would like to put my hand up that I ain't quite there yet. I'm listen. I, I'm being honest. I just
Yes.
believe being real. It is times when people will take you there, and you doing you pray, you speaking in tongues, and you like, you know what? I'm gonna need you to back down real fast, cause my peace is leaving out the door. But no, but I want us like I want us to acknowledge that though. If someone is trying to steal your peace with chaos, you need to at least acknowledge that in order to deal with it. Because if you just try to pretend like everything is everything, that's not you're gonna be doing your own self more damage than anything else.
Yes.
You're gonna be internalizing instead of just. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It does make sense. And so that's where your awareness come in at.
Exactly.
And so to have mental wellness, you have to have self-awareness.
Self awareness.
You have to have self-awareness. And then you also may have to acknowledge other people's situation.
Exactly.
And I'm honest too in that, and I understand that people are in different places because there was a time when I wasn't this type of person. And the reason why I am who I am now is because of God. So I have to give credit and glory to God.
Absolutely.
Because I used to allow people to take me places.
Oh yeah.
Bad places. Bad places. In fact, when they got through taking me to that place, they took me there. Because I was physical.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
oh Lord, what
I was
I
violent.
do? Yeah,
I'm serious. I was a violent person.
Oh,
Before I
preaching to the choir.
before I was born again, I was a violent person.
You preach it to the choir.
And it didn't take much to take me to those places, but after I learned God,
Absolutely.
and He come into my life, and I was born again. People have a hard time taking me places.
Yeah. But you know,
Sincerely.
Pastor, I hear you. I hear you. And like you, I was extremely violent before I got saved. You look at me the wrong way, and I'd call you out on it, and we'd be fighting before I know it. And after I got saved, God delivered me, but there the enemy would every now and then come in with somebody with that thing, the trigger, that trigger thing.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. If you don't do something, Jesus, it's going to be ugly up in here. And I had to deal with that. I had to spiritually deal with that. Not in it, because within myself, I think a lot of us within ourselves, we couldn't handle a lot of the situations that
Yeah, I agree with
we
that.
could not. We could not. No, I'm telling you right now, Cassandra could
I
not handle it.
I agree.
It took God, and it takes God even today when certain situations comes up. It takes God to deal with my spirit
Yeah.
so that my flesh
Hmm.
doesn't act a fool.
Yeah.
Does, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of the things that helps me with this situation is uh, being grounded within myself, and then recognizing when the other person is not.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
what I was saying earlier. I had someone to, even address me inappropriately in the midst of a congregation, and address me inappropriately. Um, but I didn't allow them to take me to where they were because I could see that they were in a bad
Yeah.
place, and so I didn't let them take me there. And whereas
You
my
did
my
good.
old person would have
Look,
took,
you put
we
it in the
all would have
spot.
went there. But I can see sometimes another person is having a mental health crisis, and just because somebody else is having one, that doesn't mean you have to have one. And
Absolutely.
this is where the peace can come in. At is
Absolutely.
when you know that everything's all right within you,
You. Mm-hmm.
and just
Mm-hmm.
know that they're not okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
let them not be okay, but you remain
Main
okay within
exactly.
yourself.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know, I was we were talking a few minutes before we got started, and
Yes.
I was telling you about the 12-year-old that his mother called me because he was being physically aggressive with her, like putting his hands on her,
Mm-hmm.
calling her all kinds of names. He's dealing with bipolar issues,
Uh-huh.
and she was feeling hopeless, and we can't we can't let anybody get us to that place when we
Mm-hmm.
begin to feel hopeless. And her peace was gone, and she said, I'd rather leave here. I'd rather die than to continue to experience this type of abuse. So
Mm-hmm.
what do I say to somebody that's in a situation like that? First, I had to talk her back, because when people are talking suicide, the first thing I have to do is talk them back from the ledge,
Mm-hmm.
as they say it,
Mm-hmm.
and that is by giving her some type of hope. Hey, have you thought about this? Could we try that? Could we get him on a respite? Can you get a respite where
Yes.
you know about respite, mental health? Sometimes when families are in mental health crisis, they can get the somebody to come in to be and give them a
They
break,
give them a break.
because
They
sometimes
need a
when you
reset.
exactly.
Yes.
So if you got boom 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 going through with the child, and he's being physical and he's saying all kinds of things, let me tell you something. It takes a lot sometimes to get parents or caregivers to be able to deal with that without losing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to lose yourself trying to save somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
because physically it can affect you, emotionally it can affect you, spiritually it can affect you. So I had to talk her back first, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, well, let's deal with what can we do to help him,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to help you.
Yes.
So that is an important part of getting people to a place of peace.
Mm-hmm.
She needed peace.
Yes.
It was total chaos, and she
Mm-hmm.
saw no hope, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't continue to live like this. Well, yes, you can. And we're
Mm-hmm.
going to help you to live.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yes.
then that's when you start giving people suggestions and resources, and that
Yeah.
is a big part of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You find the resources. I have resources that I can say, hey, let me call. I don't know everything,
Yes.
but guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I got a whole heap of people
Yes.
that on my list that I can call. I got a list of folk and say, hey, I got a parent that's going through boo 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 boo. Can you?
Mm-hmm.
What can we do? What can we do to get her some relief? What can we do?
Yes.
And sometimes people need that. I don't, you can be the deepest, more spiritual person you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are dealing with someone in mental health constantly,
Yes. Yes. And the you need a break.
you need a
You
break.
need a
You
break.
need a
So the
break.
constant, you can't be constant.
No.
In any job that you're doing, there has to come a time of rest.
Rest. You got to get
You
rest.
got to get some
Jesus
rest.
rested.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know why people think that a family member that's going through constantly that they don't need. Oh yes, yes you do. You need to get somewhere where you can just
Yes,
get your head together, get your
yes,
spirit together so that you can go back and fight the battle. You understand
yes.
what I'm saying?
See, and there's another thing to think about is if you are taking care of somebody and they're impacting your peace and impacting your mental health. One of the things that like when you fly, the stewardess or they tell you about when if there was a
That's
situation,
turbulence. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
and the mask comes
Mask come
down.
down.
Don't put the mask on that child. You put
Put
your
on
own
yours
mask
first.
on first.
Exactly.
Because if you
Exactly.
don't manage your
Come on, come
own,
on, come
then
on.
how can you be there for somebody
Somebody, you
else?
can't.
And,
You
and so
can't.
you won't have it for the other person.
You can't.
Yeah.
So that is a huge thing with me. Taking care of your own mental health so that you can help somebody else. Because if you're battling with this on a constant basis, it's going to affect you.
Yes.
I don't care. You can be the baddest thing on the planet. It's going to affect you at some point if you're constantly going
Yes.
through with a family member. So, in order to take care of yourself, you need to take 2 steps back, sometimes 5 steps back,
Uh-huh.
and reevaluate, get your spirit together, get your peace, get your joy, and then you can go back in and say, "Oh, nah, bruh, we got this, devil.
Uh-huh.
You are not taking my child. You are not going to have my mind, and you ain't going to have my child." But you have to be in that place of peace and joy.
And so you say respite.
Respite is huge. If anybody does not, if you're dealing with a person and you are exhausted and you're tired, you can go through the mental health, behavioral health agency, and you can ask through a counselor. You can ask for respite.
Respite.
And that means that they will get somebody, they'll pay somebody to come in, or either you take the child to that person and they give you a certain amount of time to just woosah, as they
Yes.
say,
Yes.
just
Yes.
to exhale.
Yes, because they know that without that, then we're gonna have
Come
another
on now,
call.
yeah.
We're gonna have another call. It's
I'm
gonna be a
serious.
crisis
Crisis
call.
call.
Yeah. And
And
they're
you
trying
try
to
to
avoid the
avoid.
crisis.
Exactly.
Yes.
You're trying to avoid the crisis. So in order to do that, you have to take care of yourself. Caregivers have to learn how to take care of themselves. I'm bad at that as a caregiver because I'm always wanting to help, 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 help. And then sometimes I'm like, wait a minute now, you starting to get a little depressed yourself, so then maybe you need to step back for a minute and allow God to rebuild you, rejuvenate. And that's really what it is. Sometimes you just need to be rejuvenated. Before you jump in the battle. Even soldiers get time. You know what I'm saying? They'll take
They
them
need
out of the
leave.
battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, bro, go home for go home for a week, go home for 2 weeks, just to give them a chance to regroup. And it's the same thing with mental health, especially when it's our mental health and we're trying to help other people.
Yes.
Even as leaders, as pastors, right? A pastor, you have to, every now and then, you need to go on vacation.
That's what they tell me.
You better.
Well, last time
Yeah, what?
I almost failed on vacation. My wife was almost ready to come home because
Okay, like
I was still doing
your
things.
head, because you
And,
stay, your head space is
yeah.
always,
And I had to repent.
yeah. Look, you deserve.
I had to change my mind.
You need to
'Cause
let the
my,
wind
my
blow
wife
through
was
your
about to come
hair.
back home
Look,
and say,
look.
this going to be like this. I'm not
Look, I go
I
home.
said,
Look.
whoa. I can't fail that vacation.
No, Pastor, you need to run on the beach and let the wind move through your hair.
What hair?
Yeah, that hair. That hair, yeah, both of us there through the hair. Just let that wind just roll right on through it. Because what you do, you are constantly taking on everybody's problems, everybody's issues. And you have to get some time where you can just run through the tulips, tiptoe through the tulips, whatever they want to call it. And we all need that, especially as leaders. And we are the worst. And we'll tell people that in the mouth. I tell people in the mouth, girl, you need to go do so. Boy, take your family. And then here I am, ain't doing nothing for myself, ain't going nowhere, ain't trying to do nothing to relax. You can't do that. And we're bad with that as leaders. We are.
Yeah.
We are.
But we're trying to do better.
We're trying to do better. No, we're going to do better.
I'm trying to do better.
Yeah, we're going to do better. We're
I'm
going to do
trying to
better.
do better and acknowledge that to be there for other people.
Yes.
I need to have everything in me well.
Exactly.
I need to be well. So what are some of the other ingredients that you see for mental wellness?
Wellness.
Yes.
Balance.
Balance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Balance.
we got to have balance, and this is what we're talking about right now.
Yes.
You can't just keep going. You have to have some type of balance in your life, and it's okay for us to let our hair down and and laugh and being serious 24/7. You will lose your mind. You will lose your mind. You're trying to be all deep and serious. You better get somewhere and laugh. And you know what I'm saying? That is a huge part, of mental wellness. Let me tell you, when the word of God says that laughter doeth good like a medicine, oh man. It's times when I'm feeling sort of out of it, man, I will turn on the funniest shows, the funniest comedies that I like, Frasier. I love the show Frasier. It's an offbeat comedy, but man, last night I was watching, I'm laying there and I am laughing my head off because we need that. We need that laughter just sometimes to just bust out laughing. And I love making people laugh. People think they be like, girl, ain't nobody knew you was that funny. We need that.
Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah.
What we do, we need that sometimes. You got to have a sense of humor just to deal with people sometimes.
Definitely. With my wife, sometimes, just to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
I do something to make her laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
And
we need that.
We often have laughter in our home.
Absolutely. We have to have that, Pastor. We need that time where we can just and laugh our head off. Just I mean, it's times that I laugh at myself sometimes. It'd be like, oh girl, no you didn't. You so stupid. You know what I mean, really. I have to laugh at me. You have to laugh at yourself sometimes.
And,
But
and like you said, it's not good to be so serious.
Serious all the time. You can't. You can't. Why would the word say about laughter? Jesus went to weddings. I don't think he got drunk because they said they never said he got drunk. He said don't be drunk, but he went to weddings, which is festive. So that means that he had he wasn't no stuck up, always so stiff neck. No, enjoy. I think that is something, a main part, along with the others we talked about. We have to enjoy life. We have to laugh. We have.
Well, like you said, with the you brought up that one of the ingredients of mental wellness is balance.
Balance.
And in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, it speaks about a time.
Time for everything.
It's a time for everything. It's
Absolutely.
a time to laugh. It's a time to cry.
Absolutely.
So yes, there's a balance to life.
To life.
And so we have to acknowledge that.
Exactly. We've mentioned peace.
Yes.
We've mentioned joy. We've mentioned balance.
Balance, yes.
Those are 3 key ingredients of us being mentally able or stable.
Yes. Well, now we talk about the
ahead.
balance, but let's go with the balance in another direction. We talked about the laughing versus seriousness, but I think we need to have a balance of sleep and
Woo!
we need to have a balance
Hello.
of sleep and rest.
Now you talk.
There's some other balance
Don't be
areas
trying to
that we
talk
need to
about
talk
me in here. Don't be. Because guess what, y'all?
What?
I never turned my phone off.
What?
Not in since cell phones was out. I never turned my phone off.
Since your cell phone was
I
you carried in
since
a
a little
suitcase.
little Motorola whatever.
Yeah,
I've never I never turned my phone off, and that is not good. And it's because people call me, especially in the sex
Yes.
and domestic violence,
Yeah.
people call me, oh, I can't afford, if a woman is trying to run for her life, I can't afford for her to call me to try to get a way of escape and I not answer my phone.
Yeah.
And I get it, and people tell me, well, you got to take, I get all of that. I don't even, I get it.
Yeah.
But lives are more important than me missing a phone call that can mean somebody's life. And I did that one time, and the person was suicidal. And after that time, I never turned my phone off. I never do
I struggle
with that. I know
my
you do.
my wife.
Yeah,
She
turn
told
it off.
me.
Yeah, look, turn it off. You married? I ain't married.
Okay.
Now, when Mr. Right come, I might be turning
You
that
might
phone.
turn
Yeah,
the
I might
phone
be
off,
turning off
okay.
right now. I ain't got to worry about Mr. Right.
But my wife told me
Yeah.
actually not too long ago that when I'm at dinner and I answer the phone,
Yeah.
she said she
Yeah.
and so I
You gotta. Yeah.
I
I get it. I get it.
so shortly after that she told me that and I tried to honor that.
Yeah.
I tried to honor that. And we went out to dinner and I got a call from out of town that I was looking for. And I was looking at my phone and I
Like,
was looking at my wife. It's like,
okay, dude.
oh my
Dude,
God.
I can't answer you right now. You know, I can't.
You know,
Look, look.
you know how somebody's
Yeah,
addicted.
you like, wait, wait. Okay, yeah, I get it.
I felt bad.
Yeah,
I felt
yeah,
bad. I was trying to, take care
yeah.
of my wife's requests, and then it's like, oh man, I missed this call.
Pastor, it's different.
And I don't. And here's
That's
the
what I'm
thing,
saying.
I
Yeah.
don't know what's on the other
On the
end of
end,
that.
see, that's what.
That's where my
That's
struggle
what.
is.
That's
Seriously,
mine. No, no, I'm.
that's my mind. I don't
That's
know
it.
what's on the other
That's
end of that.
That's it.
And that's what that is. Not that I'm trying to disrespect my wife
Exactly.
or my family.
I get it.
I just
I
don't
get
know
it.
what the other
Yeah.
end is.
See, like I said, I've been single 24 years. So for 24 years, I can answer my phone any time of night I want to, any time of day. But like I said, I don't know. Mr. Right come along, I might
You
pass
might change your mind.
I might change my mind because I want to honor Mr. Right.
Yeah.
But you're doing, the right thing
Yeah.
for you. You understand what I'm saying? But I have that's a hard one for me. Yeah, balance.
Yeah. But we have to consider.
We have to
We have
consider
to
it.
consider because another thing to think about, even for you, how long you want to be doing it. Your endurance. And so when you don't strike the right balance, then you might not be able to endure.
As long.
Yes.
Well, I had, I taught school for 17 years, and I ended up getting burnt out because I was so into doing teaching and loving on the kids and taking care of the parents and making sure I burned my own self out. I had no one. I mean, when I say burned out, I didn't want to walk into a school, because it was emotionally too much for me, and I managed stores for 20 years, businesses. I was in retail management, and when I got burnt out with that because I some of us do too much. I'm one of them people. I put too much into things, and so I did damage.
I think
to
I
my
heard
own self.
somebody clearing their throat over there.
Yeah. yeah. You can put too. Yeah, you can put too much. You can put too much into it, and so I ended up burning out from management, from retail management. I ended up burning out from teaching school. Do you know that I couldn't even walk in a mall for about 2 years after I stopped? I went through the burnout. I couldn't even walk in the mall. I would get anxiety.
As a shopper, you couldn't walk.
I couldn't walk in the mall. I couldn't shop in the mall. Everything I did was outside of a mall because I'd spent 20 years in malls. But my anxiety had gotten high because when I walked in the mall, it triggered
Work and all your
all that
activities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even go in the mall. 3 years. 2 years after I. So we can do damage to our own self trying to do good, trying to do right. Sometimes we have to step back, take 2 steps back, and just do it. Sleep is something that I definitely battle with. because I may sleep 3 hours a night. Maybe.
Let me ask you a question right now. How much sleep are you operating off of right now?
Right now, about last night, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I could not.
So you're running a deficit.
I'm in deficit, and but I've been doing this for years. But it's catching up to me. I'm older now. I'm 65. So what I could endure and my stamina from 10 years ago is not the same.
And you see the difference.
Oh, yes, yes,
yeah.
sir. I see the difference. I see the difference. My body is like, you done lost your mind. Hey, we is not 35, we ain't 45, and we ain't 55. We are 65, and we got to do things. And I've actually had to start,
So you're working on it.
I'm working on my doctors is trying to help me to work on it because at my age I cannot survive off of 3 hours of sleep.
Yes, right.
It does damage to you.
Right.
Yeah. And my mental sharpness is not going to be what it needs to be because of being so tired.
Right, and because your brain needs some time to recover, recoup, and to
Exactly.
reset.
And it's not
it has
having
to
that
have
time.
enough rest
Exactly.
to be able to be what you need to
See,
be.
so when we talk about mental health and our wellness, all of those factors that we've talked about so far, all of those things play into it. I do not get enough sleep. I'll be the first one to admit that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I have to do better. My doctors have told me, you have to get more sleep. So they give me something to help me sleep. No.
You ain't taking it.
Don't take it.
What?
I don't.
What are you doing?
I'm not taking one of those pills yet.
You bad patient.
I know I'm a bad patient. But I be telling people, you need to take that medicine and so you get some rest. And then I don't do it. I'm a bad patient, and I'm always afraid that I'm going to miss that one call.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at that, y'all.
Yeah.
See, we have to physician heal thyself. That one right there.
Yeah.
No, I ain't good at that.
Yes. But we're talking about it.
Absolutely.
We need to bring it to our
Absolutely.
awareness.
Absolutely.
And we need to do better.
So you and I talking about this right now is making me. I'm doing a lot of introspection.
Yeah.
See, we don't. I don't ever want to feel like I got it or I know it or I.
That's the thing. It ain't always about somebody else.
That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes it's about you.
About me. So
I
need to
sitting
deal.
in the chair.
I'm in the chair. I'm in the doctor's chair right now.
Yeah.
Like help me, Jesus.
But
But if we can do that,
Yeah.
like just sitting here talking about it, I'm like, girl, you might need to take one of them pills tonight and get some sleep.
Yeah, and see, and what we're saying is, it's not about you being selfish. It's actually about you being there to serve other
people.
And
Yeah.
if you don't take care of yourself in the most appropriate way, you won't be.
You ain't.
You won't.
I won't.
You
I won't
won't.
be able to do it.
You may endure for a little while.
Yeah.
But your time you're shortening that time for service.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this personally. My mother passed away. I was saying at one point 45. I understand that my aunts corrected me and told me she was really 44. She was approaching her 45th birthday.
Wow.
She passed away. And what part her issue was is that she took care of everybody else but herself.
Yep. Now you said,
And she
Pastor,
did. She did.
you said
she
it.
was in there. She was
You said
engaged. We don't do this. She was doing it.
Yep.
She was doing the
Yep.
other thing. And she was serving over
Yep.
there, serving over there. And
My
everybody but herself.
let me tell you how old my mother was when she died. 29 years old.
Lord.
And she was a nurse. And her whole life was just caring about people and taking care of people. That's all she ever wanted. And ended up dying. Left 5 children. She was 29 years old. I was the oldest. I was 12. And the youngest was 5. And really, I believe that my mother died more from stress. They said heart failure.
Yes.
But I believe it was stress-induced heart failure.
Yeah. And that was my mother. The heart. And so there is a situation where we do have to strike that balance.
Absolutely.
We talk about the
Got to
rest.
get the balance, rest.
You got to get that rest. There's another thing.
Health, food.
Food. Yes.
That's another thing.
That's another one.
We have got to do more healthy.
And it impacts there's certain food that's going to have an impact on your overall health
Yep.
and even your mind.
Absolutely. And that part is really important. And I just started maybe 2, 3 years ago watching what I eat because I was eating and I would binge eat like I would be like really excited about doing stuff and I'd be just keep eating and eating and I'd have oh the
Come
bag
on.
of chips.
It's
I would have
confession. It's confession. Go ahead.
I would have the bag of chips in the bed, y'all. I mean, I would eat a full bag of chips, a big bag of chips at night in the bed at one time. Right, just all night long watching TV because I'm up all night.
Yeah.
So I'm watching TV, but and I got a minute now. I ain't doing a whole lot of praying and all night long, but I am watching TV and I am eating those chips. So I had to like, okay, you can't do that. You can't. You just can't be doing that. And I'd have the candy bars and the chips. That was nervous eating. That was binge eating. That was emotional eating. I was emotionally eating. And a lot of people do that. And we have to get away from that.
Yes.
We're not eating because
You're
we're hungry.
Yes.
It's just it comfort. It's
Yes.
comfort food. We
Yes.
got to stop doing that. And we have and because that affects that's a mental health issue, believe it or not.
Yes. And it's a mental health issue because you're eating to satisfy something
Something-
else that's going on.
Exactly.
It's for another reason other than hunger.
Absolutely.
And actually, if you continue to do that, it's going to be a physical
Physical.
health issue.
It is a physical health because I mean I take blood pressure medication. I take cholesterol medication. So and I did that. And you got to be honest with yourself. I did that. Ain't nobody else did that.
Right.
Because of my eating habits, the cholesterol. Y'all know we be eating all that up. Well, and you probably don't. But fried foods and now I'm gonna tell you, I rarely eat anything fried because I realized that all of that was causing serious problems
Yes.
with my health
Yes.
and with my mind.
Yes, and that's me too. Because of what I saw happen to my mom, that actually caused me to do some different things. And
good.
so I rarely do the fried foods, and my eating is relatively good.
Yeah.
Relatively good.
Mine isn't as good as it should be, but I'm doing better. See, I'm not afraid to say I ain't there. I'm trying. It's some things I'm trying to get there, like the sleeping, like better eating habits. Those are things that I have not apprehended. But this one thing I do. I'm pressing.
You're pressing,
I'm
yeah.
trying to do it
Yeah.
differently, and I think that's what we all need to do. None of us got it all together, but can we try?
And here we are. Here's a little pressure, a positive peer pressure. Saying, "Hey, let's do better.
Let's do better.
Let's do better."
Exactly.
Because sometimes you can have peer pressure to do something wrong, but then I think the right environment can put some pressure on you to do some better
Do
stuff.
better.
To do
And
better.
I'm definitely trying to do better.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to encourage those around me to do better as well. And this is the thing. Sometimes we can be so good at encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can throw that encouragement out there. Girl, come on, girl, do it. But then we're not doing it. And I said, God, I don't want to be a hypocrite because that's what a hypocrite does. A hypocrite is telling other people this is what you should do, but they're not putting it into practice themselves.
Right.
I don't want to be like that. So I said, God, so there are a lot of areas in my life where I'm trying to shift and do some things better so that when I talk to people, I'm just not telling them I'm doing it. I'm
You're doing
practicing
You
I
love
want to
what you're talking
There
about.
you go.
Yes.
There you go.
And so we got the balance to think about food.
Food.
There's certain food that feed your mind.
Exactly.
And it's going to be good for you, just for your endurance. Some things are going to be against you.
Let me tell you one that is a big one for me. Sugar.
Yes.
If I could, I believe with all my heart, if I could just stop with the sugar, I think I would do a 180 at least.
Yes.
with my health.
Yes.
But that sugar messes with your mind too. Sugar
Yes.
is
Yes.
not good for your mind.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And but we crave it. It's in our we crave it a lot of times.
I'm going to share something that I stumbled upon recently. I was eating this high fiber cereal, and I ran out of it. And what I was doing was I was having some inflammation too, that would like travel over different parts of my body. And so I was eating relatively healthy, but I had this high fiber cereal that I was eating almost every morning, and I ran out of it. So what I did when I ran out of that cereal, my wife had bought some oats from the farmer's market. It was like these just
Yeah,
raw
right.
oats, and it had this mixture of stuff in it, and so it was like organic raw stuff. And so I said, well, you know what? I'm out of my cereal, so I got to get my fiber and everything. I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna tell you, I ate that, and I mixed. What did I have with that? I cooked that for my breakfast, and I think I had put some almonds in it, some raisins, and some
Honey?
coconut
Okay.
and raw honey,
Raw honey.
and I think maybe even cinnamon. Let me tell you, ever since then, that's what I've been having for
did.
breakfast, and my inflammation, it's gone,
Okay.
and my cravings for sugar, because I started my morning with that instead of, I think that sugar was in that
Was that
cereal,
syrup.
even though it was high fiber, and it started me, and I'm understanding that when you have that sugar in the morning,
Yep.
it can actually get you started wanting that sugar the rest of
Wanted
the
it
day.
all day long. Yeah.
So if
yeah.
you can start your morning with protein and fiber without a bunch of sugar, then that can actually help you with your cravings throughout the rest of the day.
So we need to check our health.
Yes.
We need to check the foods that we're eating because the foods that we eat do affect us mentally. So that's a good point, Pastor. We just it's several components but all of them work together
Yes.
to get us to a place of good mental health and wellness.
Yes.
All of those
There's
things.
one more ingredient I think I want to throw
Go
in
ahead.
there. Exercise.
Oh, why did he say a curse word? In the name of Jesus. No, he wait.
Hey, it's good.
No, he did not say.
Whoa, it's good.
Did he say the E word?
Exercise. It's good.
I'm-
It's good. Even
Yeah,
the
it
scripture
is.
said bodily exercise.
I
profit
know.
little.
Yeah.
There's some profit in that. There's some profit in
Yeah.
that.
I cannot. I refuse to answer on the grounds that it may incriminate me. I need to exercise.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me say something about exercise, though.
Walking.
Yes.
I just need to start with walking.
Yes.
I won't even walk.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I just share this. I just share this. It might have been over 20 years ago. I got upset with myself. I went to tie up my shoes and I got winded. And I was like, nah, I got to do better. And I was like in my 20s. And so I started walking. I started walking. And I would walk for like 45-minute sessions. You're on a fat burn on the treadmill. And you get on the incline, 45 minutes. And after a while, I got to where the walking wasn't doing it for me, and at the end of my walk, I wanted something else, and I started doing a little jogging. And from there, I started running, and so I still run now, but now I don't run as much because of my knees. And I'm okay with my knees. I just want to keep them.
Yeah.
So I don't want to run too much, but now some days I'll just do like long walks.
Yeah.
And they're very helpful. And so I just wanted to say that
Yeah,
about
I don't
exercise.
know. I think you attacking me, but go ahead. I think it's a personal attack, y'all. I think Pastor's personally attacking me, but go ahead.
Really, everyone can get an exercise in no matter where they are.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
right where we are, we can get a good workout in right here where we are. All we have to do is move these mics out. We're not going to do it.
Yeah,
don't
please.
feel.
Please
We're not going to do it, but we can just move these mics and get up and just
You can
walk
do the
in
chair,
place.
but you can do the chair.
Yes.
Listen.
It's so much.
I got so much on this. and ain't using none of
You
it.
know
I
this.
know, but see, that's the thing. Knowing and doing is two totally different things.
True.
I know that I need to put exercise into my well-being stuff,
Yes.
but I haven't been doing it.
Yes.
And I need to walk. If I walk from here to my car, I'm gonna get winded. I'm gonna just be totally honest.
Uh,
Because I have no stamina when it comes to walking, and you can improve your breathing, your
yes.
everything can be improved to
Yes.
walking. So I'm preaching to the choir right now. I will do better, ladies. We're gonna do better. Okay, because Pastor said he's already doing it.
Yeah, and it's for my mental health. It
It
is
is.
for
It
my
really
mental
is. It
health.
really
I'm gonna
is.
tell you, I get on the treadmill or I go around my house and I'll find me a trail somewhere, and it resets my mind and it allows me to deal with my stress.
Absolutely.
And I begin to have
Yep.
mental clarity.
Yep.
I get more oxygen to my
Yep.
brain,
Yep.
and I can actually begin to solve problems better.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we actually have a gym in my building. I live in a senior building. We have a gym, and I just politely walk past that gym.
Uh,
A full gym, I just walk right on by.
uh,
But I need to go in because no one is hardly ever in there.
yes.
So I could go in the middle of the night whenever I want to
Yes.
and just do my walking and exercise. They have treadmills, everything. So I have no excuse.
Yes.
So I decree and declare right now in front of y'all
Yes.
that I am going to do better. I'm
Yes.
going to go in the gym door, not just walk past it.
Yes.
So yeah, and that is a part
Now
of
wait a
good
minute.
mental.
Now.
Well,
I heard what you said. You go. Wait a minute.
I
Now.
don't want nobody calling me.
Now I heard what you said. You going in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna exercise.
Okay.
Look. I'm not just gonna look at the treadmill.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually get on the
All
tread.
right.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Now we're
No,
there.
not yeah. Now I'm gonna do that. Yeah. So we mentioned some really good
Yes.
stuff when it
Yes.
comes to balance, exercise, eating.
Yes.
What else to say?
Peace and
Peace
joy.
and joy.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some good ones.
Very good.
If we just do those, we'll be halfway there.
Yeah, I think that those are very helpful. In fact, we can put some more in.
Yeah.
But I think that that's enough.
Those are the key. Yeah, I
That's
think those
enough.
are key ingredients.
That's enough.
Yeah, key ingredients.
Key ingredients.
And you
yes,
in the
yes.
cake.
Yeah, and I think we need to put them in there, mix them in there,
Yeah.
mix them in.
Exactly.
Not one or the other, but put them
Put
together.
them all. Yeah, put them all together.
together.
You'll have a good case for good mental health.
Yes, yes. I really appreciate you coming
Oh,
and spend
thank
some
you.
time with
Love
me.
it. I enjoy you guys.
Yes. You have any closing remarks?
No, don't pass the gym.
Uh-huh.
Don't eat potato chips at the middle of the night. That's it. No. I'm just really if we could just like we're laughing now,
Yes.
that helps us.
Yeah.
If we could
We're
just
taking
let
some
that joy,
medicine.
we're taking medicine
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I believe if we would just add some of these ingredients together,
Yes.
we can all walk in better mental health.
Yes.
And for those that are caregivers, please take care of yourself.
Yes.
Sometimes we're the worst patients, like you said,
Yes,
worst
yes.
patients. Those of us that, we're the worst patients. So, yeah.
Well, I thank you, Cassandra Green, for coming and sharing your professional, thoughts and insight with us. And thank you, audience, for being here with us again for another Growing in Grace podcast, where we've discussed some ingredients, some key ingredients. This list was not exhaustive, but these are some key ingredients to mental wellness. And we're glad that you're with us. We want you to like, share, subscribe. Consider what we've talked about. Seriously, consider what we've talked about. You need to be well so that you can be there for your children, yourself, for your grandchildren, for your community at large. So consider what we've said. And we want you to like, share, subscribe, and we want you to come back to our next Growing in Grace podcast. Come on back.